modern times was built on top of where King Rabu placed the holding seal on the Demon King back in ancient times. During that era, the castle Rabu resided in was actually on the Great Plateau and was only 2 stories tall, as depicted in the glyph we get from one of the dragon tears. A much more humble building. There's no longer any trace of that building, but we can see from multiple shots and multiple cutscenes that it was close to the Temple of Time. We can see it through the window of the castle in the cutscene where Rabu is having a conversation with Ganondorf, and so based on that we can determine it was located roughly in this location of Temple of Time Resurrection, right around here where it starts to get pretty snowy. It would also explain why there are some ruins left over around this area. Another cool fact to note, based on multiple memory cutscenes, is that the Zonai shrines seen on the Great Plateau are in the exact same spots as the Sheikah shrines were in Breath of the Wild. Yet another connection between the Zonai and the ancient Sheikah. The 5 Rito sisters we gathered together for singing practice in Breath of the Wild have all undergone some awesome character development over the years between the games. They used to be children, but they've all grown up into young adults now. Teal, the purple one who seems to be the most responsible for childhood, now runs the armor shop. Genji, the green one, used to hang out in the kitchen waiting for one of her sisters to cook for her, but now she runs the kitchen, cooks food for her siblings. Louise, the blue one, used to weep because she felt helpless. She wanted to help save the little girl from the corrupted Bombadil, but didn't know how. She now runs the general store. The yellow one thought that she would feed Bombadil's salmon until it was full. She's grown up and taken over the community. And Knox, the red one, loves to sing, and he's singing and taking over the leadership role among the 5 sisters, assigning them tasks to complete. The ultra-handed ability is a reference to Nintendo history of the company. Before they got into video games, actually about a decade or so before the video game industry existed back in 1966, Nintendo created a little grabber toy they called Yoki. It was a commercial success, selling over 1 million units, and it helped save Nintendo from serious financial difficulties. If you sprint and jump while going through the entryway of the shrine, the camera will go a bit farther in than it would have if you simply walked in a ramp. And if you backflip through, the camera and Link has to spin around really fast to show the animation. 51 out of 152 shrines are Robin's blessings. That's 1/3. Well, it's actually 33.55263%. To be a true 1/3 of the shrines, there would have to be 1 more puzzle shrine. Because that would mess with the system of creating 4 lights of blessings for a new heart or a separate standard. Some of the Rizalfos out in the real desert work in shifts. The 5 Rizalfos take the first shift during the day, and the ice Rizalfos work second shift through the night. When their shift is up, they'll burrow underground and tag in the opposite elemental Rizalfos, and then burrows back up to the surface and clock in. Those detailed to reflect the extreme temperature changes of the desert climate. Although I noticed if you set up a camp and stake them out too far away, sometimes they just won't go away. And there'll be 6 of them off there all together hanging out, and they shouldn't be doing that because you can see how they clip through one another. And if you run up on them to see what gives, whoever's supposed to be off duty will burrow back underground and get out of there. Another interesting thing is just about the Rizalfos is how ravenous they eat their slaves. I've never seen them eat the slaves after a while. And the fire Rizalfos like to dance every once in a while, maybe they're stretching during some sort of calisthenics. The trees that come to life and attack you randomly around the overworld are reminiscent of the trees seen in the Wizard of Oz. Especially the ones in the Mount Story apple orchard, which most resemble the scenes in the 1939 film where the trees throw apples at Dorothy and the Scarecrow. I'm not saying this is a direct reference, just that it reminds me of it. The first time you complete a shrine, you cannot skip the cutscene of Link being gifted a light of blessing from the statues of Rabu and Sonia. This cutscene is shorter than all others, clocking in at 50 seconds, and has Link making an exaggerated facial expression as he observes this light infusing with his new magic arm. For all other times you finish a shrine, you can skip this cutscene completely and get right to the part where they fork it over. But if you choose not to, you'll notice they're all 8 seconds longer than the first time you see it, because it adds a line at the start saying, "Visitor to this shrine of light, that which imprisons and purifies the ancient evil, ... Then gets into the part where they say, "You have done well to reach this place." And his facial expression subtly changes from that of the first time.
Because
did you see this pic with J.D. Vance? Did you catch the headline? Inflation hit lowest level since 2021. The Fed just cut interest rates for the first time in years, and job growth keeps crushing expectations. So why are grocery prices still so high? Turns out big grocery store companies raised prices on milk and eggs so they could make more money. Kamala has a plan to ban price gouging. Trump wants to give big corporations tax cuts. Look into the facts. Decide for
I'm also
yourself.
sick, which is
There is no night more important in America than election night, a night when America speaks and the world listens. So please join me, and let's witness history together.
Discover a stunning selection of gold flowers in Hobby Lobby's floral department. One of your specialties contains marigolds, centerpieces, geraniums, ornaments. You'll find everything here to create something beautiful.
And on a similar note, speaking of unskippable cutscenes, first time you trade a goddess statue for a new fifth of stamina wheel, you get a shot of him getting powered up and having the super beam released from his body. That first time is the only time I've ever seen this quest. The rest of the time you pray for a stamina plate, you'll always just get it right away until your energy overflows completely. There's an announcement board sitting out front of the room that there's elementary school in the village. And although we cannot read the print, the text in the headers lets us know a bit about what they're for. The far left sheet is a caution notice, and then the next one says account. Who's account what? I have no idea. But the next two are newsletters. And it seems the first one is more important because the paper it's printed on is bigger, and there are 3 red lines coming out from the side of the header to grab your attention. It looks to be about the school itself, but there's no photo on there, while the second one is more of a general news. And the pelican replaces Casa and uses people who walk a bird and offers them a chance to become a reporter for the electrical jet, citing an opportunity to shine light on the truth and expose the evils of Hyrule. If you accept and complete these duties, we'll open up a bit with some dialogue subtly referencing our old buddy Paz. Granted, the potential princess sighting side adventure is one of the most expansive tasks in Tears of the Kingdom. Completing all 12 will take you a little while. Still, among other things that are more useful, notably rupees and the Froggy set, it'll unlock some incredibly interesting extra dialogue from Pen, especially if you're a Breath of the Wild veteran. He says, "A famous bard once perfected his craft in this place, studying the songs of this land." Players hoped this reference was foreshadowing that Cass would return.
Anyways,
in
it's a
DLC
NASA pic
questline,
I got
but it
at
looks as
the,
though this immensely popular Breath of the Wild character will remain absent in Tears of the Kingdom forever. However, Pen is not the only one we get unique dialogue from as a result of reporting for the Electric Clover. After completing the duties of
Kennedy
the
Space
outskirts
Center,
stable,
whatever, and I got this pack of pics there, and then, like, probably 2015, 2016, I've had these this long. They're cool. I don't really use pics there that often, so
Zelda lost her memory of who she is.
I probably should. It's tearing up my hands.
And if you approach this Zelda
Okay,
imposter while
bye.
dressed as a